This is a project I've been meaning to engage in for a while now, possibly decades. Anyway, I went online and I went searching for 9mm Glaser blue nose safety slugs and found that I can't even find the silver nose Glaser safety slugs anymore. So if you didn't know what a Glaser safety slug is, you can search for it here on YouTube to get an idea, but basically it's a shell, like a bullet shell, and it contains lots of little lead shot. So when it hits flesh or a target, it breaks apart, disintegrates, and tends to dump all of its energy in the target, while at the same time creating lots of tiny wound channels in the target and creating a massive wound cavity that tends to turn insides into jelly. But now it's kind of hard to find them, apparently. Glaser was bought by cor-bon. I think cor-bon tried to sell safety slugs for a while, and then I don't know if they gave up or what, but they're marketing other ammo types now, so other defensive load solutions. A lot of people tended to regard Glaser safety slugs as not performing very well because they don't get enough penetration, but all the videos I've seen, I kind of tend to think that they do yield pretty great performance because they create such a massive wound cavity. So plus, if you miss a target, heaven forbid, and your round strikes a solid surface, then they disintegrate. You don't have to worry so much about ricochets harming anyone. And then there's like debatable performance about whether if you shoot an interior wall accidentally, will the round disintegrate enough to prevent people on the other side of the wall from getting hurt. Anyway, there are some tests on that on YouTube also. Anyway, so what I did was I took some of these, I think they're G2 Research. These are the guys that, G2 Research. They're the ones that initially made the RIP round, which seemed to be pretty well received by people and had some impressive performance. But I guess maybe there were some feeding problems with the RIP round, so they must have created the Telos round instead. So the Telos round, now these are already modified. The Telos round, let's see if I can get a focus on this. There, that's maybe the best. So anyway, the Telos round has a deep cavity. Now these are already modified, like I said. And another possible solution is the Liberty Civil Defense round. This one weighs less than the Telos round. This one I think is 50 grains and screams at about 2,000 feet per second from the tests I've seen online. Whereas this one claims is about 92 grains at the Telos round, and it claims to go about 1,200 feet per second. So, it might be that the civil defense might be an even better round to use for this project. But then with added weight, I would imagine there would be a substantial decrease in its muzzle velocity. So anyway, I had an extra box of the Telos round, so that's what I used. I filled up the cavity with, I ordered some tiny 0.8 millimeter steel shot from, it says it came from China, but anyway, this stuff was much smaller than I expected it to be. I kind of worried about what might be the effects of blasting 0.8 millimeter steel shot out of your barrel. Would it harm the barrel if somehow the the cap, the retaining cap that you had made, came out of the round? I don't know why it would travel faster than the rest of the round, but anyway, it was something I wondered about. And then I also ordered some 1 millimeter lead shot. So I filled 2 rows of this with the steel shot and 2 rows with the lead shot, and now I don't know which is which is fine. Don't really care. And then I went to the auto parts place and asked the guy at O'Reilly's what I could use to make a cap to hold the shot inside the round, and he suggested this VersaChem red RTV silicone, and that really seemed to be what I was looking for. I don't know how it's going to dry. We'll see. We'll give it 24 hours to cure, but to me it looks like it's plugged up. It's like created a cap over the lead shot and over the steel shot. So I wiped off the excess. Now I will point out a little tip here. At least for the 0.8 millimeter shot, I was able to use the nozzle from the RTV as a funnel to dispense the 0.8 millimeter steel shot into the recesses of the Telos rounds. The 1 millimeter lead shot would not go through the hole that I had made when I clipped off the tip. If I had clipped off the tip farther, I'm sure I could have used it as a funnel for the lead shot, but the lead shot was big enough that I could basically pinch it between my thumb and forefinger and drop it into the recesses of the rounds. Now, I put the cap back on the RTV when I was done, but I didn't really have anywhere to clean out the contents of the RTV, and I was kind of I didn't really wanted to put it down my sink. So I took a paper towel and I twisted up the corner into a pointy end, and then I shoved it down the wide end, and that was enough to push this rather sticky material out the pointy end. And I did that about 3 times, and that was enough to pretty well clean out the nozzle. So this comes in handy as both a funnel for the shot and as a dispenser for the red RTV. So now I may not have a perfect facsimile or likeness of the Glaser-ish Safety Slugs, but I do have a round that has some loose shot in it, and so with these Telos rounds, potentially I could get more fragmentation than just the leaves that you typically see star out in the ballistic gel tests. So now I have shot in here that could create many different small wound channels, and at least partially achieve some of the performance that was seen in the Glaser-ish Safety Slugs. And then, of course, with these, There's also a remnant of the bullet slug that gets better penetration than the rest of the round. So then you still have that. So it's kind of a hybrid of the Glaser Safety Slug and this modern defensive hollow point. So anyway, that's what I've done. I doubt I'll be able to get you any kind of ballistic gelatin tests or any kind of tests really. I've been trying out a number of different defensive loads, so I'm not really putting all my eggs in this basket. You know, I'm trying out different things. But if you make any faux, F-A-U-X, faux or fake pseudo Glaser Safety Slugs yourself, and you do have a chance to test them out, I would really be interested in seeing your video, and I would link to it in the description of this video. So let me know.